Hi, John.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Han, how you doing?
Hey, all good?
So I do have the YouTube live stream is going. So
Yeah, I'm watching it. I think it's working well right now.
okay. Let's see here. Just got to get this Zoom meeting over onto the right screen. This is annoying. It keeps trying to go to the wrong screen.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically
Wow, just another level. Well, first impression is just wow. It's just amazing feeling, and I have to say it's a really big step up compared to the previous models, because right now with this platform we can produce much more movement and faster, so it's just great, and for sure will help to develop a much in an easier way and a faster way all the products or the machine. Well, the gap for sure is getting closer and closer, and especially after driving this great platform, I can confirm that. And you can see also in the general situation with all the factories that, yeah, they always invest more and more on simulation because, of course, it's a big investment at the beginning, but then you can produce closer data and testing. You can test much more compared reality, of course, and you can validate so many things that in reality you have to wait maybe 1 year. So in this kind of things, simulator can give you a lot of things. And here with the new product, we can be very, very precise on the target. Main advantages are you can see it produces a big view that never ending. It looks from inside. Plus the movement is longer and more. For example, when the car is sliding and sideways, the feeling is just natural. Plus also vertical movement. I felt it a big improvement on that. It's more reliable. And also one thing that sometimes we forget is very silent. So inside of the cockpit you feel more natural, and you feel more in the natural environment of a car. So today I can say that with this machine, driving simulator and testing are closer than ever.
Hello to everyone. We are members of Unibom Motorsport, University of Bologna Racing Team. We firstly heard about VICRT software in 2019, and we decided to use it in order to create our vehicle dynamic model. The purpose was to simulate dynamic maneuvers, study the results, and increase the performance. We participate for 2 years at the virtual Formula competition to speed up the learning process of both the software and the design of a dynamic model for a Formula student car. We want to take part also this year for 2 reasons. First, to give the opportunity to new members to learn the software features, and second, to improve our general knowledge. The main challenge we faced during the competition was to organize the workflow of the optimization process between different subsystems.
VICRT software helped us during the design of our FSAE vehicle, giving a high-level degree of freedom in the creation of the model through a user-friendly environment. Thanks to this, we become able to rapidly work on the different subsystems. We also managed to perform sensitive analysis in the research of the optimal parameter value for each dynamic event of the competition. Moreover, we had the chance to foresee the behavior of the car before the testing session. We will use even for this year VICRT software to set targets which will guide the main design of the vehicle. We will use also VICRT to test our control system in order to debug them in dynamic environment. Also thanks to its
Okay, John.
third-party software.
Can you hear me?
We have
I
tried
think
the simulator won during VICRT.
from the live stream, maybe the first group will start at half past 12 EST, because the first group will take the inspection within this half an hour. Vince is now doing process on the opening.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I just said the first group will start at 12:30.
Okay, sounds good. First group out at 12:30.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to update that on Discord.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, good.
We think that is a very useful tool to improve the accuracy of our simulation. It enables us to simulate full laps instead of only open-loop dynamic scenarios, therefore validating our torque vectoring model with the feedback of a real driver.
During our visit, we learned that for a productive use of a simulation system, the dynamic realism is not enough. Indeed, you need to work about the sensorial perception in order to avoid sickness and giving to the driver a better impression of reality. These results give the driver a total feedback. Since in the near future, car manufacturers will develop several autonomous systems focused on increasing safety, we think that using such simulators could help to test and calibrate these systems without any risk, but with a great fidelity to reality.
This year, the virtual Formula competition is based on a virtual twin of our real car, so we will be able to do more specific studies and analysis in order to find the better optimization of the vehicle, understand, comparing to other teams, which aspects of our car must be improved and which are good. The visual Formula gives us the chance to work even the period of the lockdown during the COVID pandemic. And it's also nice to compete with the other teams from all over the world.
From the beginning, we have realized that the software interface is user-friendly. It can be useful to simulate many circuits and be better prepared for any test. We can also more easily find the best configuration for our prototype. And so for the next season, we will try to study every aspect of the software to win again.
Hello.
Virginia International Raceway is located on the Virginia-North Carolina border and provides drivers with a challenging track made of narrow turns, long straights, humps and downhills that challenge the driving skills of all drivers racing here. Our analysis starts at the finish line where we find a slight bend to the right where the motion platform moves both in the lateral and a bit in the vertical direction. The platform shows a small compression just before the straight braking section approaching turn 1. It's a long hairpin, which requires a lot of attention to correctly prepare the trajectory for the next 2 turns. The motion platform moves backwards and slightly to the right during the brake action and the turn approach. And then it moves progressively more laterally and turns in yaw, giving a realistic feeling of the hairpin shape. Turn 2 is done with a blending action at the exit of turn 1. It has a slight bank, and the simulator gives the correct feeling to prepare for turn 3. Turn 3 is a 90-degree turn to the left with slight counterbanking, which requires a prudent modulated braking while pointing to its apex. The DIM 400 with longitudinal, lateral and yaw in simultaneous motion gives the best possible realistic feeling. This turn presents a late apex on a hump that hides turn 5 and 5A and requires a strong and precise braking action, reflected by the sharp backwards motion of the disc frame. After the braking, the DIM 400 moves mainly in the lateral, yaw and vertical directions, and all motion cues are well coordinated. Immediately after, you have a change in direction for turn 5. Turns 4, 5 and 5A are very important for sustaining the highest possible speed before the long straight after the full throttle turn 6. Turns 7, 8, 9, 10 represent a challenging sequence for the high variability of horizontal and vertical curvatures as well as banking. Turns 7, 8, 9 are to be driven with one single objective in mind, to have the vehicle at the right position and heading for the braking of turn 10. The DIM 400 gives extremely good and natural feedback for all combined motions. The lateral, longitudinal, roll, pitch, yaw and vertical directions are uniquely connected and harmonized, allowing the driver to feel the vehicle-road interaction at best. Turn 10 hides the view of the short downhill which follows to approach turn 11. It's possible to appreciate the vertical motion of the platform at the apex of turn 10 where the vehicle gets lighter, followed by the compression just before the strong braking action before turn 11. The big platform vertical motion helps the driver to understand when it's the right time to brake for turn 11. Turns 11, 12 are separated by a short straight line and have to be driven as a single turn. The apex of turn 11 is about in the middle of the track in order to point to the correct apex of the closing turn 12. Nevertheless, the two turns require a progressive double steering action due to the curvature of the driving line. The DIM 400 disc frame has enough space to provide the driver the right sense of lateral acceleration and yaw velocity. In the long straight after turn 12, the platform moves mainly vertically, which makes the vertical slope of the Virginia track very perceptible. An initially huge and then progressively modulated braking action is required up to the hump of turn 14. A sudden change of direction is necessary after turn 14 to prepare for turns 15, 16, 17. These curves are done in rapid sequence. They go downhill with slight counterbanking. The DIM 400 gives an excellent perception of the inversion of banking between turn 15 and 16, which is very important for the braking before turn 17, which is essential to maximize speed in 17A and to carry it on to cross the finish line as fast as possible. Virginia International Raceway is the perfect track to test the DIM 400 capabilities at the limit. Higher angle travel, as well as longitudinal, lateral and vertical movements of the motion platform make the driver feel every change in direction or altitude as if he was driving the real car on the real track.
Your shipping manager left to find themselves, leaving you lost. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Today we're in Portugal at the Portimão track. Many drivers refer to this track as the roller coaster. Soon you'll understand why. The drivers are unanimous in their praise for the track, which they find very challenging and fun with its climbs and drops and many blind corners. The circuit has two very long straights in the first sector, where good top speed is vital, while the second sector is very different, being more twisty. It is in fact in this sector that one finds many of the changes of gradient where a driver must rely on instinct and have total confidence in his car. The final part features medium high-speed corners, especially the last one which leads on to the start-finish straight. Having a driving simulator which is able to reproduce all different movements, including high vertical displacements, is very important to have a realistic driving experience. Let's have a drive with the VI-grade cable-driven DIM 400 driving simulator, and let's see how it performs. At the end of the pit lane straight, approaching the first turn, the driver experiences high compression while heavily braking. Large platform movements help the driver to execute a sudden braking pedal push and a gentle release, taking advantage of the aerodynamics of the car and the vertical curvature of the road. Turn 4 is blind and goes slightly uphill, and the car loses grip due to the road convexity. The hexalift moves largely downwards, giving a realistic feeling of the reduced tire forces. The speed is rapidly increasing in this turn, and this makes it difficult to control the car. Once again, the planar motion of the platform accurately matching the real vehicle, coordinated with the motion of the hex lift, gives a totally natural feeling of complex dynamics which the vehicle undergoes. We are now at turn 5, called Torre VIP. Here the yaw movement of the disc frame is essential to correctly execute the slow hairpin, helping to move correctly to the apex and progressively accelerate in the turn exit. We now have a sequence of 3 curves. These 3 turns must be done in sequence, having a unique trajectory in mind. Turn 6 is a blind left convex corner. Turn 7's exit goes uphill and the driver is subjected to a strong compression, during which it is essential to apply the best brake action to negotiate the apex of turn 8. At the turn exit, the car almost completely loses ground contact. The combination of uncoupled X, Y, yaw, pitch and Z movements of the DIM 400 are extremely important to be able to drive the vehicle at the limit in the sequence of turns. The 4 following turns are also very challenging. The trajectory feedback to the driver is dominated by the platform motion rather than the graphics. This happens when the track goes uphill and the view is pointing to the sky, but also when going down in the compression, trying to take advantage of the extra inertia force, which adds up to the already high aerodynamic force. Delivering the right movements is fundamental for the control of the vehicle, and this is what the DIM 400 simply does. These 2 turns are downhill, and once again, the large vertical movement of the hex lift is very important to give the driver the feeling of compression. This turn is run full throttle in an F1 car, and the hex lift moves up to give the feeling of compression, while the disc frame is pulling to the right. The active seat gives the feeling of persistent lateral acceleration. Driving in Portimão with the DIM 400 simulator with a properly tuned F1 model helps the driver to understand how setup changes allow them to push to the limit of performance. The Portimão track is characterized by large elevation changes which often hide the apex of the turns, thus forcing the driver to feel the track with his vestibular and somatosensory perception more than trust the visual. The DIM 400 is an extraordinary machine for that, due to the high vertical travel of the hexalift. The whole spatial motion envelope contributes to feel the vehicle dynamics in perfect harmony with the road planar and vertical profiles.
Hello guys. So please get ready. The race will start after all the teams in Group A have entered this meeting room. If you can hear me, please turn on your speakers.
Yes,
you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
in diretta.
Okay, hello guys from Unibor CV. Please turn on your cameras.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, for the, okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I will set you in mute and the race will start after all the teams are entered. Okay, please be ready.
So we've got two teams queued up and ready to start driving. We're waiting on two more teams before we get going. So once we get two more teams set up here in the race room, then we'll start the teams driving. So the teams are going to do 12 laps. First lap's not going to be scored. And then the subsequent laps are all going to be scored. The teams will send VICRT some files, and we're going to do some post-processing on their run to determine whether or not they have hit any cones during their run and assess penalties. And then we're also going
Okay, guys from Cal Poly, please turn on your cameras. We have only one camera now.
So once these guys do their laps, they're going to
Recording in progress.
send us some files so that we can assess whether they've hit any cones and evaluate their efficiency scores.
Okay, I can see two cameras now. Yeah. Good. So let's wait for the last team.
I certainly like the teams here that have turned a part of their older car into a driving simulator. Those are pretty cool. And we're just waiting on one more team to join us.
I think the last team is coming in a second. Please just wait for another 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, guys from Salento CV, please open your cameras. Okay.
Devi girare la telecamera?
And the other one, please. Okay, I will set you in mute. Okay, so all the teams in Group A are here. Hi everyone, welcome to the online race session in Virtual Formula 2022. So, first of all, let's do a quick radio check again for all drivers. If you can hear me, please give your thumbs up to the cameras. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, pretty good. So this is a single-way radio check, which means during the whole race, please turn off your mic and turn on your speakers to receive race control from me. The race will start after the following 5 notifications. Number 1, the race will be 11 laps in 20 minutes, and the first lap is a warm-up lap. Please count by yourselves. Rollback function is prohibited, otherwise you will receive a DNF. 2, if you have any trouble during the race, the only thing you can do is try to restart simulation and continue your driving. At the same time, please report through Discord channel to just let me know you are trying to fix the problem. Number 3, if restart didn't work, please let me know through Discord channel and go back to inspection room. Number 4, when you finish, please send a message in Discord channel again. You can leave the meeting room after my permission. Number 5, at the end, please upload your CSV log file after the race in 15 minutes. So if your drivers are ready, please again put your thumbs up. Okay, Milano, Unibo, Carpoli, and Salento. Salento, are you ready? Okay, good. So the race will start in 5 seconds. Please be ready. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off. So I have some high expectations of Cal Poly. They've been doing VICRT's driver in loop system for several years. They've had a system set up since I believe 2018. So they've been using this type of tool to develop their drivers for quite a number of years. We'll see how their challengers hold up. If we get a couple of laps in here, maybe we can check some of the lap time counters. I'll blow those up after we get a lap or 2 in. So far, I haven't seen any team have a significant off course. Hard to tell whether anybody has clipped any cones. But I don't see anybody that's completely blown through a corner and had to turn around. can see the, oh yeah. I was just about to comment that the Cal Poly driver seemed really smooth, but I think he had a significant moment there for a second. Salento's driver looks really smooth. Milano, he is really working hard to keep that car underneath him. And I see Cal Poly doing a few catching the back end kind of moments. For anyone who hasn't driven a Formula car, these cars happen. A lot happens really, really fast. These drivers are having to work really hard to stay on top of these cars. The Unibro driver appears to be clicking off some really smooth laps. Not seeing a whole lot of hard flicks of the steering wheel to catch the car. Looks like the Cal Poly team has a couple of turns where they're really kicking the back end to get around. Oh, it looks like California just had an off. They had to come back around to re-enter the course. Looking at the driver's hands, Salanto seems to be the one that has the smoothest steering. Milano, he is really working hard to keep that car under him. He's been working really hard the entire time. Unibro, he's working hard. I'm seeing various amounts of small corrections, but for the most part, he hasn't really had to catch the car. And looks like Milano has finished their laps. And they got a little bit of a slow start off of the beginning. So for this year, for the virtual formula competition, the teams have been building vehicle models that are supposed to closely replicate their actual car models. In past years that we've done virtual formula, the teams have used sort of a base model and then modified that base model to optimize it for lap time performance. But this year, we're wanting the teams to replicate the car that they're taking to competition as close as possible. So we're hoping that this competition gives us a little bit of a preview of what we're expecting to see show up at the competitions throughout North America, Europe, Australia, China, and Japan over the course of this summer. And looks like Unibro has finished their laps. We still got Cal Poly EV team and Salanto still working on their laps. Looks like Cal Poly just finished their laps. Saliento should be getting pretty close to the end of their laps. And so all of these teams will be sending the logged files of their runs, and we'll be post-processing those to look for any cones or off-course events, assessing penalties, calculating vehicle efficiency, and then we'll be announcing the winners of the race after we compile each team's lap performance and announce that at our Zero Prototype Summit coming up in third week in May. All right, it looks like Saliento has finished their laps.
Okay, I can see you guys all finished in the race. Maybe I have some little issue on Discord, but it's all right. Congratulations, guys, and you can leave this meeting room now. And we will have the result in May. So, yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, Carpoli and Salento, I will let you guys leave this meeting room and let Group B enter. So, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, hello guys. This is Group B, and we have Ren Schmid at Pforzheim, UNAM Motorsport, and AMMT CAM Lion. So please open your cameras and set it to the right angle. Cameras from Team Lion, maybe you should twist your cameras 90 degrees anti-clockwise. The cameras doesn't seem good right now. Yeah, okay, it's good right now. So yeah, it's about time. So let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome to the online session in Virtual Formula 2022. This is Group B. First of all, let's do a quick radio check for all drivers. If you can hear me, please give your thumbs up to the cameras to let me know. Okay, got you. So this is a single-way radio check. which means during the whole race, please turn off your mic and turn on your speakers to receive race controls from me. The race will start after the following 5 notifications. Number 1, the race will be 11 laps in 20 minutes, and the first lap is warm-up lap. Please count by yourselves. Rollback function is prohibited, otherwise you will receive a DNF. Second, if you have any trouble during the race, the only thing you can do is try to restart simulation and continue your driving. At the same time, please report through Discord channel to just let me know you are trying to fix the problem. If number 3, if restart didn't work, let me know through Discord and go back to inspection room. Number 4, when you're finished, please send a message in Discord channel. You can leave the meeting room after my permission. And number 5, at the end, please upload your CSV log file after the race in 15 minutes. So, if you're ready, please give your thumbs up again to the cameras. Okay, 1, 2, 3, okay. Now you can put your hands on the steering wheel and we will start in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, looks like we got everybody off at about the same time. Really looks like Ecamm Lion is hustling the car around. Haven't really seen anybody have an off course yet or need to re-enter. Again, it's still tough to see if anybody's hit any cones. We will look at log files that the teams submit after the run. to evaluate whether anybody has hit some cones during their run, and we'll assess penalties for that. We'll also calculate their vehicle efficiency to come with a combined score and announce the winners at the Zero Prototype Summit in third week in May. Looks like Mexico is driving a real smooth line. Haven't really had to seen him have to try and catch the car or catch a slide. ECAM EV team, they look like they're really hustling the car around, trying to push it to its limits. It looks like he's working hard. There we go. Now we've got it lined up, so we've got each team in a row. And it's interesting to see the different setups that each team has. We've got one team that has repurposed one of their older cars and put the driving simulator equipment in an old car. One team is just using a desktop setup. The other team appears to have a custom cockpit setup. In our last batch of drivers, we had at least one team have a couple of off-course excursions, have to turn around and re-enter the course. So far, I haven't seen anything like that with this group. Looks like they're all doing really good. So it looks like the Mexican team has the collision widget active on their DrivSim setup. So the collision widget is going to take a look at the graphics of the vehicle, and if it has a pass-through with one of the cone objects, it will report a collision. So it looks like he hit at least one cone there. Oh, looks like eCam just had a spin out. A collision widget was showing a few impacts with the cone. Looks like he's recovered and got going again. Looks like Mexico also has their collision widget on and had an impact with a cone. And again, any of those sort of collision widgets is a visual that pops up onto the screen. We're going to be taking the logged CSV files and taking a look at the vehicle path and the profile of the vehicle and determine through a MATLAB script whether any cones were hit, and that'll be the official count for cones. So we'll be doing that after the teams submit their CSV file for review and assess any penalties to come up with the final scores. Oh, looks like eCam had a spin out. Or was that the end of their laps? That might have been the end of their run. And it looked like he's really working hard. He was wiping a little bit of sweat from his brow since he was working so hard. And so in this round we had one EV vehicle and a combustion vehicle and another EV vehicle. So we've got Mexico is our CV vehicle, a combustion vehicle in this round. They're still working on their laps.
Hi, we are already finished.
All right. Looks like the last two teams finished up pretty close to each other.
It's done.
So these teams are going to grab the logged data and send that to our officials for review. The teams have about 15 minutes to send us those files.
Okay, I think all of you guys are finished. If you finished without a problem, please send a message in Discord and you can leave this meeting room right now. Thanks again for your participation.
Thank you.
And good job to all teams.
Thank you.
Drove. Looks like Unicam is giving us a little bit of a shot of their simulator setup. Okay, so we're about to work on our next group of teams. They're over in the tech inspection meeting room and we'll be coming over into our stream here momentarily. A little bit of fun videos while we wait. So here's a video from 1998.
Hello guys from Group C. Please turn on your cameras. So we have Carl Polly and Unibo again. I think you are familiar with the process. Okay, good. All the cameras are set. It's still several minutes before the starting time, but if you are ready, you can show me your thumbs up. and we can start the race a little bit earlier. Okay, Cal Poly is ready. Okay, Unibo is ready. Team Unina Cosa. Unina Cosa, can you hear me? If you can hear me. Hey, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You can stay in mute mode, and I can see you guys.
Okay. So can you repeat? We have some problem of audio.
I'm sorry. The
We have
sound is not
some
very clear.
audio problem.
Can you repeat, please?
It's okay. It's still several minutes before the starting time. You can take your time.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
It's fine.
So we've got a little bit of technical difficulty with Unicorsa. They're working on sorting out a couple problems. They've still got a little bit of time before we get started, so they're seeing if they can get that sorted out, and then we can get going. We're still working on getting Unina Corsa set up. We're going to give them just a couple more minutes.
Okay, Team Unina Corsa. If you still haven't fixed the problem, you can go to the inspection room. We still have 0 minutes before we start.
No, we fixed the problem.
Okay, you fixed the problem. So now you can open your cameras.
Okay, we open our cameras.
Yeah.
Can you see all correctly?
Yeah, okay. Pretty good. So please stay in mute.
Okay. Can we start?
Okay. Wait a minute. So
Wait a minute.
yeah, wait a minute. I'm gonna set you in mute, and we will start after my notifications.
Okay.
Okay. So, hello. This is Group C, and welcome to the online race session in Virtual Formula 2022. First of all, let's do the radio check again for the drivers. Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. You don't have to open your mic. Yeah, good. Okay, this is a single-way radio check, which means during the whole race, please turn off your mic and turn on your speakers to receive race control from me. And the race will start after the following 5 notifications. Number 1, the race will be 11 laps in 20 minutes, and the first lap is warm-up lap. Please count by yourselves. Rollback function is prohibited, otherwise you will receive a DNF. Number 2, if you have any trouble during the race, the only thing you can do is try to restart simulation and continue your driving. At the same time, please report through Discord channel to just let me know you are trying to fix the problem. Number 3, if restart didn't work, let me know through Discord and go back to inspection room for help. Number 4, when you finished, please send a message in Discord channel. You can leave the meeting room after my permission. And number 5, at the end, please upload your CSV log file after the race in 15 minutes. Okay, so if you are ready, please give your thumbs up to me again to the cameras. Okay, good. And you can be ready. We will start the session in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Looks like Unibro and Cal Poly have started their run. And there we go. Now we also have Unicorsa up and running. So you can see on the Unicorsa graphics, they've turned on the widget so that you're looking at tire slip angle and slip ratios. So you can see as the tires are lighting up, you can see where they're getting really high slip ratios or really high slip angles. And our Unibro, they've turned on their telemetry wizard or telemetry widget that's showing their G's. So we're seeing longitudinal and lateral G's in that lower right-hand corner. You see sort of some concentric circles with a little red dot, and up above that is the longitudinal G's, and to the side is the lateral G's. Ooh, looks like California just trying to catch a slide there. Cal Poly has really got a lot of steering angle in their design. I'm seeing them have to steer the car almost 270 steering wheel, 270 degrees to negotiate some turns. Unibro doesn't seem to go much over about 100 degrees. Oh, maybe it was a bit more. Maybe it was about 130 degrees in some of the tighter corners for Unibro. Oh, looks like Cal Poly just had an off, had to re-enter the course. And you could see on Cal Poly's setup that they had the collision widget on. So when he hit a cone, you saw a little triangle pop up to indicate that he had hit a cone. Uni Corsair just hit some cones, saw a collision widget pop up there. Something that you can kind of notice about Uni Corsair's car, if you take a look at the horizon, you can see how much softer in roll their car has been designed than Cal Poly or Unibro. You can really see that they're pretty soft in roll. And when you watch them transition, you can really see the amount of roll in the car. And you can see quite a bit of the nose diving down as he hits hard on the brakes. So he must have he's got a pretty softly sprung car. Unibro keeps clicking off lap after lap. He looks very cool, collected. I haven't seen any emotion on his face. He just seems focused on getting fast lap times done. Can't quite see the California driver's face, so I don't know how hard he's working. I can definitely see him working the steering wheel quite a lot, but their car seems to have a fairly low steering ratio, or fairly high. I think I've seen California go about 270 degrees on their steering from, yeah, about 270 degrees from one extreme to the next. And in Uni Corsair, their steering ratio is pretty small. We've only been watching him do maybe 45 degrees of steering angle, which this is a lot of the point of what we wanted this year in Virtual Formula, is to see the teams apply the design they plan to build and take to competition. And we want to see that here in the virtual space and see how these drive and how the drivers react to these different cars. It really adds a different dimension in vehicle design when you can experience the car in simulation long before it's built. Gives the drivers an opportunity to change the suspension configuration long before they finalize their designs. And so it looks like Unibrow is finished. Looks like they have finished and are sending us the CSV file of their run. That was pretty quick. So we still got Cal Poly and Uni Corsair. And it looks like Cal Poly has finished their runs. So we've still got Unina Corsa finishing their runs. And looks like Unina Corsa just finished.
Okay, guys, I think you are all finished. Congratulations again. If you haven't met any trouble, you can just leave this meeting room, and thank you for your participation. Yeah, thank you, guys.
So we should have another batch of teams coming up here shortly.
Today we're at Monza, the Temple of Speed, and we are driving on this exciting and fast circuit with the VI-grade cable-driven DIM 400 driving simulator. Monza is a relatively flat track with no large altitude changes and is characterized by long straights followed by tight chicanes and fast corners. Because of the flatness of the track, most of the ground plane movements to the driver will be provided via the disc frame motions, although high-frequency input is delivered by the redundant degrees of freedom of the hexalift. Due to the inertia compensation system, the motion of the disc frame is decoupled from high frequencies. Let's start the test drive. At the end of the pit lane straight, we have chicane 1 called Prima Variante. Drivers brake intensively with fully tightened active belts which reproduce the strong forces developed by the aggressive 5G's real-life deceleration.
Okay,
After the braking, a
guys.
quick change in direction is accurately
Please
reproduced thanks to the amount
change
of...
your name in the meeting room by team name. Otherwise, I cannot recognize you. And open your cameras, please. Now we only have, okay, now we have 2 cameras. We still need 2 cameras. Okay, good. I think FST, this boy is ready. And the other 2, please change your name in the meeting room. So, Massimiliano, is that correct? Which team do you from? We still only have one cameras from you. Okay, now I can see the second one. Oops. Okay.
We are trying to connect the second camera.
Fine. We are in.
Okay, we are in. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. So teams, please open your cameras. 2 cameras each team.
Looks like Brazilian needs to open up one more camera.
I think FST Lisboa and Polito are ready.
Yes, we are ready.
Yep. Okay. I think the Brazilian team is ready too. So the 4 teams in this group are ready, but we're gonna have another team from Group B joining in later on. So still several minutes before the starting time. So let's just wait for a second. At this time, we can do a quick radio check. If you can hear my voice, please give your thumbs up to the cameras. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Lisboa, Polito, and McGill is ready. Okay, I can see you. Okay, all of you guys are ready. So let's just wait for a few seconds.
So it looks like so far in this group, everybody has got desktop setups. Doesn't look like we've got any older Formula SAE cars converted to simulators in this round. So it looks like we're waiting on one more team to join us. Looks like we're giving them about another 4 minutes.
I think we lost one camera from the Brazilian team.
We're trying to reconnect here.
Okay.
Just a minute, please.
Okay, it's fine.
We just request to enter with a.
Okay.
We just request to enter.
Okay, good. You can see you guys.
Can
now.
you see the camera? It's all right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can. Pretty good. Now please set this phone in mute mode. Okay, team 4 time. Yeah. Okay, I think your cameras are set. Okay, for team 4 time, let's do a quick radio check. If you can hear me, please give your thumbs up. Okay, good. All right. So, we still have 1 minute. I think you guys are ready, so we can get started. Welcome to the online race session in Virtual Formula 2022. This is the last group, and we have 5 teams here. So we have 10 cameras. First of all, I think we don't have to do the radio check again. So yeah, this is a single-way radio check, which means during the whole race, please turn off your mics and only turn on your speakers just to receive race controls from me. And the race will start after the following 5 notifications. First, the race will be 11 laps in 20 minutes, and the first lap is warm-up lap. Please count by yourselves. Rollback function is prohibited, otherwise you will receive a DNF. Second, if you have any trouble during the race, the only thing you can do is try to restart simulation and continue your driving. At the same time, please report through a Discord channel to just let me know if you are trying to fix the problem. Number 3, if restart didn't work, let me know through Discord and go back to inspection room for help. Number 4, when you're finished, please send a message in Discord channel and you can leave the meeting room after my permission. And last, number 5, at the end, please upload your CSV log file after the race in 15 minutes. Okay, so if you are ready, please give your thumbs up again to the cameras and I will check you one by one. So Polito EV is ready. So FST Lisboa, you ready? Okay. Ikama Motorsport, you ready? Okay. McGill, Okay, and Renschmiede? Yeah, it's pretty good. So, you guys are ready. The race will start in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, looks like everybody got a start about at the same time. Oh, looks like McGill may have had a little problem. And Remschmida, looks like they've had a little bit of hiccup. Okay, looks like McGill has gotten started. And Remschmida is going to. All right, so we got everybody running. Looks like McGill and Remschmida may be about a lap behind the other two. So it looks like FST's got either some lightly sprung or possibly lightly sprung, because I'm seeing quite a bit of roll overshoot as they straighten up down a straightaway. You can see the car roll back and forth quite a bit. Looks like the car may have very little roll damping and roll stiffness. So we can see on McGill's setup that they've got the collision widget running. We just saw that pop up on their screen. So they've hit at least one cone there. Looks like Polito has got a pretty smooth handling car. We're really not seeing them having to try and catch the car. Brazilia's had a few moments where they've had to counter steer to catch a slide. FST seems to have a little bit more trouble with catching some slides here and there. We're seeing a lot more steering wheel movement with their setup. All of these teams seem to have somewhat similar steering ratios overall. Most of them are having about a maximum steering angle of something like 100 to 120 degrees. Quite a lot less than we were seeing with the Cal Poly team, which was having to go almost 270 degrees. So far, I haven't noticed any team that has had an off course or needed to re-enter. So that looks like they're doing pretty good. Oh, looks like Brasilia just had a cone, or sorry, Polito had a cone hit there. Can see the German team there just had a couple of brief moment where he was trying to catch back end. But he has seemed pretty cool about it. Oh, looks like Polito just got another cone. Oh, and a spin out. Looks like Polito had a spin out. Looks like Polito just finished their laps. FST should be getting pretty close to finishing theirs. And again, all of these teams will be submitting their log files from these runs, and we'll be post-processing those to look for potential cone hits. We've got a MATLAB script that's going to take their path and the profile of their car and look for any times where they have hit a cone. I could just see the collision widget just showed FST clipped a cone right there on their very last lap. So we'll be running those log files to determine how many cone hits the teams had and assessing penalties and calculating their overall fuel economy and efficiency. And then winners will be announced at the Zero Prototype Summit coming up third week of May. Looks like Brasilia just finished and McGill. This is probably the last lap for our final team. Yep, and he's done. So as mentioned, the teams are going to be, the winning teams are going to be announced at the Zero Prototype Summit. So for all of the teams, please register for the VICRT Zero Prototype Summit. There'll be a lot of interest.
Okay, so
presented.
all of you guys are finished. I want to say thank you again for your participation, and yeah, congratulations to yourself. If we're all good, we can leave this meeting room. Have a good day, guys.
Yep. And yeah, don't forget to register for the Zero Prototype Summit, where we're going to announce the winning teams and also see a lot of the upcoming developments with VI-grade software and simulation platforms, as well as papers of how industry is using driver and loop simulation as a part of their vehicle development. So you can go to vigrade.com and register for the Zero Prototype Summit. coming up third week May.
So high-frequency input is delivered by the redundant degrees of freedom of the hexalith. Due to the inertia compensation system, the motion of the disk frame is decoupled from high frequencies. Let's start the test drive. At the end of the pit lane straight, we have chicane 1 called Prima Variante. Drivers brake intensively with fully tightened active belts which reproduce the strong forces developed by the aggressive 5G's real-life deceleration. After the braking, a quick change in direction is accurately reproduced thanks to the amount of yaw angle and impressive yaw velocity developed by the DIM 400, which is vital to give the driver the correct sense of where the vehicle is heading to. If the driver hits the curbs,
Recording
the vertical dynamics
stopped.
from the hexalith accurately replicates the vehicle motion, providing the driver with very realistic feedback. After a long right turn, we reach chicane 3, called Variante della Roggia. This chicane is faster than the first one. The driver doesn't see the entire trajectory while entering due to a slight vertical curvature. The driver, when approaching the chicane, brakes with full force, just matching the turn distance signs. The braking action is reproduced by the disc frame longitudinal movement and by the active belt. Then, while approaching the turn, the driver releases the brake pedal to modulate the deceleration. During this maneuver, the disc frame first moves quickly backwards and then, because of the large available longitudinal workspace, follows the action of the brake pedal, giving a proportional feeling of deceleration. For this maneuver...
Okay, so looks like that was our last group. So we did a group of five teams in that last session. So that was our last group. So that'll be the end of the live stream here for Virtual Formula. And again, I want to encourage everybody to go to VICRT.com and register for the Zero Prototype Summit. There'll be a lot of good content there, a lot of good papers, as well as the announcement of the results of the Virtual Formula competition. So thank you all for participating, and we hope to see a bunch of you guys back for next year. I hope to meet a lot of you in person at the design competitions coming up over the summer. And with that, everybody have a good day.